dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Governor Beshear says the federal government will be helping hundreds of homeowners affected by flooding and tornadoes in 2021. Most of the help will come to the hardest hit areas, including Eastern Kentucky, due to flooding. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on regions of the state that continue to recover and rebuild from multiple natural disasters.
Almost a year and a half has passed since devastating tornadoes ripped through western Kentucky. Mayfield's mayor says rebuilding is still ongoing.
If I'm standing in the center of town, we look really barren. But that looks better than all the debris that was there. But barren to me is just I see opportunities.
Onan was joined by several other western and eastern Kentucky officials to hear about a major housing grant to help 600 families rebuild following 2021 natural disasters.
We have a great need for housing still. We have a good local leadership team that's working with the state, your state officials and our federal officials to identify places that we can build housing.
Governor Beshear says more housing help is coming for those impacted by flooding in eastern Kentucky last year. He says he believes they are on the fast track to receive that. Beshear was also asked about debris removal in eastern Kentucky. There's been some reports that that process is moving too slowly.
Certainly, a lot of work has been done. If you have been out and seen eastern Kentucky and see where it is now, a whole lot's been done. But the work continues, and I'm not going to be satisfied until we are completely finished, both with the cleanup as well as the rebuild. And
Beshear says the $123 million to rebuild homes in the 2021 disasters comes from a HUD grant acquired by U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell.
Disaster recovery is not partisan, never should be partisan. It should be about our people and how we move forward.
Beshear says announcements about the 2022 flooding applications should be made in about 2 weeks. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Governor Beshear says the rebuilding program does include rental property and people can start applying on May 1st.
It has been a rather nice day all throughout the region. You see plenty of sunshine on our camera along the Mountain Parkway. It's Slade, 71, the current reading there. There's the view from our Morehead State University camera. Also looking pretty nice out there. Temperatures in the upper 60s now. We're slowly dropping them out of the 70s where many of us were today. Still some 70-degree readings out there at this hour. Your forecast first through the night, going zone by zone. The Cumberland Valley looks a little cool tonight. I think a lot of us are heading into the mid-40s at best, or at worst, I should say, tonight as we head out there. Same thing across the Kentucky River Valley and into the Big Sandy. I think we'll see those temperatures closer to the 40s than the 30s in many locations. I don't think we're looking at another frosty night tonight, at least widespread frost. Some patchy frost, though, can't be ruled out in the sheltered valleys. This is all ahead of rain headed our way, though. I'll detail the showers moving in and when we see a return to some cooler weather coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. An ongoing trial for Breathitt County Judge Executive Jeff Noble continued today. WYMT's RJ Johnson has an update.
Judge Executive Jeff Noble is facing charges of buying lumber with county money, theft by unlawful taking, abuse of public trust, and 1 count of first-degree official misconduct. When the trial resumed earlier today, a witness by the name of Crystal Deaton, who had previously worked for the county, claimed the county did not follow the correct procedures for establishing a county road, stated in KRS 178.080. She says that the county receives the majority of the funding for roads through the state. However, the correct steps were not taken, causing the money not going to use. She no longer works for the county, saying she was let go in 2019, shortly after Jeff Noble took office. We will keep you updated with details as they come in, but in the meantime, in Jackson, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
And again, little information coming out of that trial so far. We will keep you updated, though, as RJ mentioned, as it goes along. We now know the funeral arrangements for an Eastern Kentucky radio and television sports broadcaster, Harold Mullins' visitation will be Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. in the chapel of Heinemann Funeral Services. Mullins' funeral will be Saturday at 11 a.m. also at the funeral home. His burial will follow at Mountain Memory Gardens in Heinemann. Mullins died Sunday in Florida. He was 72 years old. Many people in Hazard and surrounding counties know the name Hazel Robinson. Whether you know her as a person or you've driven down the Hazel D. Robinson Way, she has impacted the lives of many people in eastern Kentucky during her nearly 50 years working at Custom Cleaners in Hazard. But Robinson recently retired, and today WYMT's Olivia Calfee sat down with her to talk about the memories and the difference she's made.
The first day I came into work, I was scared to death. All the noise and all the clothes. But of course, as I walked off my porch that day, my father said, Hazel, you do those clothes like you do at home, and you will never have any problem. And that's exactly what I have done.
As Hazel Robinson reflects on the nearly 50 years she spent working at Custom Cleaners, she says shortly after her first day, that dry cleaning job turned into a beautiful career.
Doing people's clothes, it was like a pleasure to me. I was making something look good for somebody, you know. And if people came by and needed something, I tried to do it for them that day if I could, if they needed it, you know.
And as Hazel looks back, she says it was all part of God's plan.
I look back on my life. The day I came through the doors, I can still remember. But I look back on that and I can see what a future God had for me in dry cleaning.
A future of not just cleaning clothes, but restoring hearts.
One time I came in here like 6 o'clock. This elderly guy, he ran in. He said, I'm so mean, you know. So finally I told him about I'd been to church and had a wonderful time. And he said, I used to be saved. And I said, well, the Lord will save you again. And he talked for a little bit and he started out the door. I never will forget. And he opened it up and he said, little girl. And I said, yeah. He says, don't ever change from what you are. And I said, I won't.
A few months later, she says the man came back and told her he was saved. Time and time again, Hazel Robinson has shared her love for the Lord with customers.
We had people that would call and want prayer that day, and we would hold hands and pray. So this job was more than just the work. It was a work that God had me here to do, I think.
And now that Hazel has stepped away from that nearly 50-year-long career, she wants to thank the people.
I will miss them greatly, and they will always be in my thoughts and my prayers. And I will never, never forget you. You have been so good to me, my customers has.
And as one of her favorite songs reminds us, the best is yet to come.
But I have a feeling in my heart the best is yet to come.
That was Olivia Calfee reporting. Great story, Olivia, and I'm proud to be one of Hazel's customers for many years, and we're going to miss her. In 2017, the road Custom Cleaners is on was named after Hazel. She says she could not believe so many people came together to make that happen.
Well, not too far away now. Here comes the rain. Not on our cameras yet, but it will be.